Hello YouTube and the tribes of the horror realm. This is our second of two convention updates. This one was the most recent one we had done, which was Chiller Theater in Parsippany, New Jersey. This one had a lot of really unique guests and was one we definitely did not want to miss. The main attraction for us was they brought in not one, not two, but three of the original suit actors who played Godzilla. So when we got there, we went directly to the room and waited in line, and once the room opened up, we got a chance to meet the first one, which was Haru Nakajima, who portrayed Godzilla from 1954 until 1972. You actually adored him, didn't you?
Yes, he was so nice and so sweet. He gave me a hug.
Oh, what 85-year-old man wouldn't want to hug a young woman? Now, a lot of these guys, they don't speak English, but I'm sure they can tell from the looks, how excited we are to see them. They were very appreciative. They were very kind, polite.
Respectful.
Yeah, very respectful. So after Nakajima, we got a chance to meet the second actor who played Godzilla during the Heisei period. That would be Kenpachiro Satsuma. He played him from 1984 to 95, and prior to being Godzilla, he was faced off against Nakajima's Godzilla as Hydra, the smog monster, and as Gigan. We also had a chance to meet the third one, which is Satsumu Kitagawa. He was Godzilla from the 1999 until 2004, when Toho ceased doing Godzilla films. So while we were there, we ended up getting this limited edition print signed by them. The artist is Shinji Nishikawa. He was also in attendance. Signed the print. We got Nakajima here, Satsuma, and Kitagawa. So it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet some legends. Also, Nakajima had also portrayed another creature. He was Gaia, the green gargantua in War of the Gargantuas. So we added him to the ad slick from War of the Gargantuas that already had Kenji Sahara, who we had met the prior year. After we went and saw them, we went into what they call the living room, where they put a lot of the major stars. It's kind of it's basically a big hot mess with people. But we really wanted to meet a actress who we've tried a couple times and unfortunately never synced up on getting a chance to meet. That would be the First Lady of British Horror, Barbara Steele. I absolutely adore Barbara Steele. I have for years, so getting a chance to finally meet her was an exceptional treat for myself. We had her sign a couple different things. We had her sign this Locodano poster for The Ghost. These Italian posters, they leave a lot of the space up at the top so the theaters can put information, show times, and all that type of stuff up here. This was an unblemished one, so it gave her a great area to sign at the top. And of course, Teresa and I being huge Mario Bava fans, especially Black Sunday, we couldn't resist getting this photo of her as the witch Azavaja. So hopefully we'll get that one framed up.
Who can't fall in love with that face?
And after meeting Barbara Steele, we went in and got a chance to meet James Remar. A lot of people recognize Remar from playing the father of Dexter from the television Showtime series. But we remember him as Ajax from the Warriors. And we had Remar sign the Warriors soundtrack LP right down here next to Michael Beck, who played Swan. You were particularly tickled meeting him, weren't you?
He's a nice looking guy.
Well, right after that we moved on into the Skyland Suite, where we got a chance to meet another legend, and it's someone that has probably everyone is familiar with in one way or another. His name's Peter Robbins. Now, a lot of people are like, who's Peter Robbins? I don't know who he is. Well, chances are you probably heard him more than actually seen him. Mm-hmm. He is better known as Charlie Brown. Peter Robbins did the voice for Charlie Brown in the original trilogy, Charlie Brown Christmas, Thanksgiving, and It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So we had him sign this figure. He signed I Got a Rock, and then Peter Robbins on the figure itself. He's definitely he's definitely out there. I mean, in a good way. He's very friendly, very outgoing. He definitely interacted with everyone and had a good time doing it. So it was pretty cool to actually meet the voice of such an iconic character, because I watched him growing up, and who am I kidding? I still watch the Charlie Brown specials. Then after that, Teresa is, of course, a big 80s chick, and one of her favorite 80s movies, there was an actress present, and you ever wonder how they look after, 30 years, 25 years later? Who'd you get to meet, honey?
I got to meet Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science, and she is absolutely gorgeous. She's absolutely hot. But she was great to me. I told her how much she impacted me when I was a child watching this movie. And she got to sign it right here. And all I need now is Michael Anthony Hall. I didn't really get a picture with her because she's a little expensive, but thanks to Chris, he got her signing it.
So after that, we ended up going to see a few folks that we've gotten to know a bit in the past year plus. And that would be Victoria and Jody Price, the daughter and grandson of the legendary Vincent Price. Very down-to-earth people. Can't say enough good things about them. They're so cool to talk to. If you're a Vincent Price fan, you should be going over to vincentprice.com and signing up for the newsletter, the emails where they talk about, they share family photos and give him backstory that you're not going to get off of any magazine that was written about Vincent Price.
You could really see the love for her dad in her eyes, and Jody in his eyes. They're just very dedicated to, this man,
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to see, the man himself versus the screen person. Also, speaking of, well, actually, yeah, you want to show what you picked up while you're there?
Yep, I got a shirt, which is Vincent Price, made up of ravens.
Well, so you got a chance to see one legacy from a famous family in horror, and then you went and saw another one, didn't you?
We went to go see Ron Chaney, the grandson of Lon Chaney Jr.
And obviously that would make him the great-grandson of the man of 1,000 faces, Lon Chaney Sr. And this is what you bought from Ron?
Yes. I love this book. I saw it and I had to have it.
Well, you stick the vampire from London After Midnight on anything and Teresa's interested. This is the Man of 1,000 Faces, the art of Bill Nelson. Basically, Bill Nelson was a monster kid and an artist who focused mainly on Chaney. He was obsessed with Chaney, and he would draw the different images of Chaney in his various makeup stages, from when he was a youngster. Then he made his own puppets, little paper puppets. So this is, it almost acts as like this. It's basically this guy's portfolio of the Chaney characters. So you see the evolution of his style. He does write about the different characters as well in there, and his analysis on them. It's really an interesting book. It's now out of print, and Ron had one last copy, so Teresa snagged it from him, and then he signed it as well.
Good price.
So then on the second day we went back to Skyline Suite. We got to meet character actor Gerrit Graham, who was in films such as Phantom of the Paradise, Chud 2, Chopping Mall, Used Cars, and in this case we got him for his appearance in Child's Play 2. This was, of course, Teresa's Chucky doll signed by the various alumni from it, and she added Gerrit Graham, who played Phil Simpson in the second film. Gerrit's health hasn't been all that great lately. He has a condition that makes it very painful for him to walk, but he was such a gentleman, such a nice guy, and even insisted on standing up despite how painful it was to take a picture with us.
He was a very sweet man, and for him, to stand up to do the picture, that just showed how much love he really does have for his fans.
Yeah, so if you ever get a chance, definitely go meet Gerrit Graham. You won't be disappointed.
There's one more person we met.
Yes, I know. We also went and got an opportunity to meet another iconic legend. We've actually never, in most cases, never seen the man, but we've seen his work. And I'm speaking of the artist Basil Gogos. He's well regarded for doing all the early famous Monster magazine covers. He did album covers, movie posters. His style is just stands out. And we got a chance to finally meet this living legend, and I had him sign a couple copies of my famous Monster magazines that the covers I really like. 66 yearbook with the Phantom, and of course Bride of Frankenstein issue as well. Pretty sharp guy. He's probably in his 80s at this point, but what an opportunity to meet this guy. I mean, it's been one of those shows where we're getting to meet the Godzillas, Charlie Brown, Barbara Steele, Basil Gogos. It was like legend after legend. Still staying on with famous monsters, another artist that was in attendance was Ken Kelly, who he painted like the Godzilla, Kiss covers like Destroyer, Love Gun, a lot of the Conan magazine covers. He is also a phenomenal artist in his own right. He did do some famous monster covers. One of them was this one here of Boris Karloff as Ardith Bay. So he signed right at the top here. And so I think that was virtually about it, except for, of course, while we're there, we got a chance to catch up with a lot of our...
There was one more guest we met. Brodus Clay. Brodus Clay, you know that I love wrestling, but I have a nephew who's also loves wrestling, and he loves Brodus Clay, so I had to stop by and get a picture for him.
So, as I was saying, we got a chance to see some of our friends that we hadn't seen in a while. 410 Goodfella, a.k.a. Tim. 13 the Bear, a.k.a. Mark. Those are our running mates for these conventions. We did get a chance to spend some time with them and have our traditional pizza dinner with them. As well as seeing another one of our friends, Miles Chapin. Some people may remember him from films like Howard the Duck, The Fun House, People vs. Larry Flint. Haven't seen Miles in quite a bit, almost just under 2 years.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to see him again, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up when he's back in the area. And you got this as well, lastly. Go ahead.
This is from Mark, a.k.a. the Bear. He got me this, and he found it somewhere, and he knew how much I love Dracula, so he decided to give me this as a gift. And I want just to say to him, thank you so much, Mark. I can't wait to dive into this and just look at all the pictures and read some of the stories. Okay?
Some of the stories is one story. It's Dracula.
Yeah, it's one story, but I can't wait to see all the pictures. Thank you so much, Mark.
There's words between the pictures, too. Alright, so that's our recap of Chiller. And if you ever get a chance to head down to it, it is one hell of a convention. It really is. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Have a good day.
Bye.